What a final episode of Skate the Infinity. Langa versus Adam officially happened. Our boy Langa pulled off the W, he won, and while I do feel like there's going to be heavy debate on whether Adam got off too easy, because essentially he got a redemption, and Adam is a piece of shit. I think we can all agree to that. The things that he did get away with in terms of like the family business, I love the idea that he did pin it on the actual scumbags there, and he's like, you know what, I was never gonna sell out my boy here because, you know, kinky as he says it, I mean, they were friends since they were children, so I think the area that he got away with makes sense. The area that you could, I think, definitely debate is, you know, I mean, he cracked our boy Cherry in the face. But I think at the same time, you sometimes have those family, you have those friends that you can't pull away with, and I guess it's really up to them if they want to forgive and the people he has hurt along the way. But the overall message of simply skating is fun, I think kind of makes it an easier pill to swallow. But truthfully, if you would have told me last week that this is the direction they were going to go, that Adam wasn't going to get arrested, but rather Adam was going to find the love for skateboarding, I would have said that sounds pretty stupid. But watching it happen and seeing how Langa came through, and even getting some clarification on what that almost like Super Saiyan like tunnel vision was that we've seen throughout the show, and the idea of going into the zone, you pretty much, it's essentially just a sports thing where you only focus on the object, and in doing so you forget about everything around you, and in the case of S, that's kind of the most dangerous thing ever. I like the idea that it wasn't technically supernatural, even though sometimes when we're watching these matches, the way they're spinning around or jumping around, it does feel a little supernatural, but this is the WWE of skateboarding, so it kind of all makes sense. The reason I like this episode so much, and the reason why I'm not necessarily pushing back against Adam, is it almost feels like the way they ended Adam's arc was the actual people doing shitty things in the family business are going to get punished. And while yes, he did a lot of shitty things in S, I think it's really up to those people if they want to forgive or pursue criminal things there. Really, for me, I think the idea of just putting like the overall idea that, you know, the danger and all that, it's simply you gotta have fun skateboarding and that's all that matters. And that's why I really like Reki versus Langa at the end. You don't see them because it doesn't matter. They're essentially, you know, whoever wins there, they're not going to look down upon the other. They're going to probably just continue to race and race and race for the rest of their life. So for me personally, watching an episode, for the first half of it, has this disturbingly gothic horror OST. Probably my favorite OST in Skate the Infinity. It was horrifying, the location was disturbing, it's literally a graveyard. And then by the time Adam gets into the zone of actually finding skateboarding fun after the help of Langa, the OST switches to something a lot more positive and optimistic. I like the idea that rather than just going for a straight on like, you know, we're just gonna throw Adam in the slammer, we just got a fun skateboarding match that turned from the most horrifying to one of the most fun episodes I think Skate has seen to date. For me personally, whatever happens to Adam after that, if Cherry's like, you know what, screw you bastard, you put me in the hospital, I'm pursuing criminal charges, or maybe many of the people he hurt before we started the show, that's really up to them. I mean, you could maybe do an OVA, you could maybe do a season 2, something like that, but for me personally, I like the idea of skateboarding being fun, and just how they made me go from being like, screw Adam, that bastard, to me being like, you know what, I don't even care anymore, I just want to see Adam and Langa have fun skating. I never thought I'd say that, but that's just how Skate was, is that it made you just be like, you know what, skateboarding, as ridiculous as this skateboarding is, I mean, there's points where he's like destroying the hanging rocks, and we have to dodge that. I mean, the love hug to the goddamn baseball bat maneuver, like there was so many times where you're just like, what is absolutely going on, and you're just like, holy shit, I can't believe Studio Bones stuck the landing for this high quality of a production. Really, I wasn't expecting the animation to go this hard. I thought it was going to have certain key moments that would be visually striking, but I can safely say a majority of that match was always having something interesting happening. Whether it was the complex background details moving past the character models to the just insane animation that was very fluid and smoothly animated. Like, I really think this was one of the most high quality skating matches that Skate has seen. And while sure, the first match, the last match, maybe like a couple of big ones throughout it, those are the ones that usually get the most attention, but you know, we did have that unplanned recap and, you know, production was struggling a bit, so the fact that they really stuck their landing and delivered something this visually striking but also really interesting with how it was written, I mean, I don't even know how you storyboard something like that, but leave it to Studio Bones, some of the best in the anime game, and this is definitely going to be a show that I think is going to stick out. I remember when I was first reviewing this, it was like the first 3 to 4 episodes, I was thinking to myself, I love Skate, I really love it, but no one's really going to watch these reviews. No one's really going to be watching Skate all that much because of everything that was airing in the season. And for the first chunk of the anime, the first third, that was true. It was an underdog anime. But to see the growth of the fandom of Skate over the weeks, it's actually really interesting, and I think it goes to show why, like, you really just gotta watch what you think is interesting. You check out the first episode. If you have a good feeling, keep with it, because if you simply follow the trends of what anime to watch because people hype it up or people say it sucks, you can miss out on a show like Skate, which had one of the weirdest but I think best ideas I've seen for a sports anime. WWE meets skateboarding meets shitty Adam and his Eve and just all these individual interpersonal relationships. And seriously, Reki and Langa, I love their development and how far they've come. I think, you know, I didn't think it was going to happen personally in the way that you could probably please Reki and Langa fans, because I think there's two very different crowds. People loving how much Langa got the spotlight, and other people wishing Reki had more of the spotlight. I personally loved the direction they were going, but really I feel like they ended Skate with Reki and Langa as equals. Maybe certain skill sets were better in certain characters' cases, but really that smile at the end, the race, the cheering. I love how within the last 2 episodes, both Langa and Reki were cheering each other on the exact same way, and I actually like that they had a falling out in the way they came back together. I'm sure this ending might be a little polarizing just because of Adam's fate. Personally, for me, I would say, honestly, when you look at how much damn fun these characters had at the end, I'm focusing in on that. I just had a blast watching this, and I definitely think this is a show I want to binge in the coming weeks. I really feel that way, and I don't binge a lot of anime anymore, but this is something that's just so different. It's so fresh. The OST works so well with the animation, and each character's personality was so great, though I have to say I feel bad for Shadow. My boy was building up to propose or ask her out on a date, and she already had a boyfriend. I'm like, you did my boy Shadow dirty there. If anything, you probably should have done Adam a bit more dirty, not Shadow, but I mean, the show was a roller coaster, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, this is, I think, when you take a look at what the previous anime season represented and how many good shows, if you were to ask me what are my top 5 shows that I'm going to miss the most, personally, I would put Skate in a top 5 of the shows I'm going to miss the most watching. It was satisfying, it was exhilarating, it was frightening, it was badass, it was fun, it was Skate. And I really hope we get to see more and more ideas that are this fresh and different, because original anime are a creative risk, and when you have something this interestingly animated, it's even more so of a risk, because can you finish it on time? And honestly, I hope to see more stuff like this from Bones in the future and even other studios down the line. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this final match, and do you agree with me? That intro OST that was playing for like the first 5 minutes of this match, was that not one of, if not the best OSTs? If not, what was your personal favorite? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, share your support, and hit that subscribe button if you happen to be new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.